Hey, it's Michael Saul with the Stock Market Trading Watch List for Thursday, September 8th, 2011. Let's take a look at some of the indexes and some sectors and some stocks once again. So the S&P video is up on the blog, but real quick, gap and go kind of day, a little bit of a pullback off the open, but it was just a beautiful textbook dip, and then we just off to the races. Came a little shy of the gap, so watching that, watching the 78.6% retracement as well. Okay, NASDAQ 100, okay, above the two short-term moving averages here. Looks like it wants to head up for a retest of this high and the 50-day moving average here. The Russell, okay, trying to make a move here as well. And the Dow looks like the SPY. So overall, we have that second higher low, and this is playing out the way that I have been talking about, which is forming a complex zigzag here. So we got 1, 2, and then one more into that 50-day moving average, maybe into the 200-day on the Dow here. But going back to the SPY, see the 200's a wee bit of space in between. I'm still longer-term bearish. I just think that we have to complete this pattern. Volume was crappy. Breadth was strong. A lot of the leading stocks, which we'll look at, stocks that have been showing good relative strength, they didn't really trade that well. A couple of them made their highs early. Okay, not like they sold off hard, but they didn't have nice steady moves higher like we saw with the SPY and the NASDAQ and the Russell. Okay, so overall, I'm still watching this roadmap of another push higher here, wherever this high fizzles out, and then we roll back over. Now, Obama is set to speak, I believe, Thursday evening, 300 billion stimulus. So depending on what he says, okay, that could have reaction for Friday, but depending on what we do on Thursday, if we can grind higher Thursday, maybe Friday can complete the move. That's pure speculation, obviously. Who knows if we'll even gap up off of what he says, right? But it seems to me that there's, we're just getting this bullish lift into his speech on Thursday evening. So let's take a look at some sectors here. Semiconductors, nice push, looking like a possible inverted head and shoulders. Banks, okay, same kind of pattern, possible inverted head and shoulders. Cyclicals, okay, same. Let's look at biotechs today. Whoops, got to get the right symbol. That would help. Okay, biotechs. All right, this really isn't a inverted head and shoulders, but it's trying to push up here. Maybe wants to test the 50-day. Brokers, skip them. Not really an inverted head and shoulders because the right shoulder came down to test the lows. Wasn't a higher low. A lot of people will sit here and they'll mark this off as an inverted head and shoulder. I just don't get it. I love looking at these pictures of how some people draw head and shoulders and inverted head and shoulders patterns, and it's like they totally just demolish what the pattern is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a lower low followed by a higher low, and the two higher lows on an inverted, that is, okay, are supposed to be somewhat symmetrical. And on a regular head and shoulders, the two lower highs are supposed to be somewhat symmetrical. Okay, so let's look at the healthcare. Tag the 200-day here, but it's got over by a little bit. Not much. Let's look at oil, OIH. Yeah. Also a possible inverted head and shoulders there. It has the higher lows surrounded by the low. Watch that 50-day. GLD. Down to the 20. It held. If we can get a bounce here, or if it's going to push lower. SLV. Okay. Better squish this up here. Overall, just choppy range bound environment. Okay. Let's look at some stocks. Apple. This is what I was talking about. Basically, nice gain on the day. You're not going to say it was a bearish day, but basically opened at the high here. All right. It didn't trade big. Amazon. Okay, Amazon, similar, right? It opened, then it traded down, then it came up for a good, strong close. Still think Amazon's going to retest those last highs. Here's Google traded okay, but into the 20 EMA. It's been acting kind of weak, but you could see how it just oscillated around these moving averages. So maybe this is due for some sideways action, or maybe it could come up and retest these highs up here. Baidu. What's the highs at 151.11? Goldman up nearly 4%, trying to get off its butt. Bank of America. Oh, everybody's talking about the 8% gain, whatever, close to 8% gain. All right, but what did it do? It's still under all the moving averages. Okay. We talked about Priceline and Netflix, so let's look at all those. Priceline had an okay move, but once again, and where you're getting in this, right? It gapped up. Are you getting in at the pullback? All right, that's great in hindsight, but trading it during the day is not that simple, right? Okay, the gap up, and now it's pulling back. So now, okay, wow, it looks like a gap fade, and then you're going to say, okay, well, now it's time to buy it. Well, there was a beautiful setup here on a nice consolidation, but just makes me sick. I get a lot of emails from people that are dealing with that are still in memberships with some of these super gurus, and it's just amazing how they make it. Oh, this was easy. Okay, this is a nice fade, and then it comes up here, and then okay, and is it times they're going to zoom like the market right now? It's going to pull in, and this is the only real good pattern I see. Except for the fade off the inside bar, which was beautiful. Never was in trouble until the fade, until the gap filled. If I could talk. Okay, let's look at Netflix. Okay, Netflix still under the moving averages. Not a great day. Not a great day for Netflix. Opened up basically at the high. CMG is another one we were watching. Another one that, really looking so great here. Opened up into the 50-day and then sold off. Okay. So, let's look at X. Somebody want me to look at X again. Yeah, could be putting in a hard bottom here, but, overall, I'm not looking for a lot of stocks for long. I'm looking for some stocks that are rallying weekly into resistance. Okay, X had a nice volume here. Okay, it was the highest volume in a couple weeks. It just peaked over the 20 EMA. All right, let's look at some drug stocks. A friend of mine wrote X for some drug stocks. Here's Merck, watch the 50-day. Here's Pfizer, 50-day. Lilly, into the 50-day. So they're all at that line in the sand there, right? Here's Aetna, healthcare. Watch the 50-day there as well. Oh, not ATH, sorry. WellPoint, WLP. All right, 3 moving averages here. So watch what happens if we can get up there into that resistance. All right. That's really it. I think we're going to be in a holding pattern with a slightly bullish. No, I don't like to say bias, but more like a slightly bullish hue to it into Obama's speech Thursday, and we'll see. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, and we'll see how Thursday shapes up. But I don't expect a lot of movement here ahead of that. And I'm going to be watching weakness on Thursday for a potential buying opportunity, just for a trade. Holding over Thursday night, thinking that Obama's going to say something great. That's, gambling, unless you're doing it with real with real solid risk parameters, like something like options, where you know what you're absolutely going to lose, or a hedge position or something like that. All right, so that's it. I'll talk to everybody again on Friday. Have a great trading day on Thursday.